What up? What up? Zach Bradshaw, long-winded guy. Um, Making a follow-up on a video that I made last night and failed to release it. I mean, I put it on YouTube, but it's private, just because I needed to watch it again because I was a little bit drunk while I made it. And basically made it because I was looking at the charts and it said, "Oh, something's about to happen right now. We are in a decision phase. Uh, we had this rising wedge pattern. Well, you know what? Let me get it on the same chart that I was looking at on yesterday. We had this rising wedge pattern that, I mean, was at the point where it needed to be resolved, right? So if we extended this out so that these things intersect, um, we were close to a decision phase. And basically, what I said in the video is I expect this thing to make a decision overnight as I sleep. And that's basically what it did. I mean, it really broke out this morning. It didn't do it 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning like I was kind of expecting. But as of right now, it was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours ago that it actually made its decision and broke out. So, 6 or 7 in the morning, because I was up last night drinking and messing with charts too late. I wasn't up by then today, but it happened this morning, and I woke up, or not to say I woke up because I wasn't thinking about it and didn't look at charts for several hours once I was awake. But once I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is in the same area that I predicted last night. Not to say that I predicted, I just did a little technical analysis, looked at this, grabbed me a measured move that I'm not totally sure about how to do these measured moves. I see people do them all the time, but um, grab this, something like this. I guess it must have been a higher. Maybe I did the measured move right here. Again, I'm no expert on measured moves, and I don't believe it's that much of an exact science. But you see, it broke out and came up here and exceeded the measure move on this formation. So this was a rising wedge. You have your lows rising at one speed. You have your highs rising at a slower speed. So the bottoms are moving up faster. The tops are moving up more slowly. And typically, or at least they say, these tend to break down. But because this was at the all-time high, these are like the highest prices Bitcoin ever had. I didn't think that made any sense. The way that the chart looked, it just, I mean, I don't. I've been looking at charts for a while. I can't completely explain it, but it just didn't make any sense looking at it that that would be the high. Considering Bitcoin seems to always have like blowout tops on this high, like even this prior high before here, was almost like a parabolic final push. This didn't look like that. And for this to have been the top, it would have had to like roll over. So it would have looked like this is the right one. So it would have mm, done something like this. And that just does it just looking at Bitcoin's price, that just doesn't make any sense. So let me change this color so you can see. Um, Something like that. And that is not the shape of how Bitcoin puts in its tops. If we run this all the way back and look at over here, oops, dude, why can I not turn this off? So looking at this prior top over here, and let me make these candles a little fatter for you. Um, it's at the tip of the curve, right? It doesn't like roll over. It it had its curve. Do I want to pull another one of these up? No, I don't. It had its curve that it was going up on, a parabolic curve, and then once it broke that, it shattered its way down. It didn't like have a soft rollover at the top. You come up over here again. It was following some parabolic curve, and then once it couldn't sustain anymore, it broke down and shattered against it. Right? It doesn't have this soft kind of rollover. That's more of like what you see here or like right here. Um, and so I just didn't think that that was the top. So I made a little video about it saying, hey, I think this thing's about to move a couple $1,000 overnight. And it did that. I should have put that video out, publicly instead of releasing it privately, but drunk and I didn't know how dumb the video was going to be. So end up being correct also. So I really should have posted it so it doesn't look like I'm only posting it because I was correct. I actually would have posted it whether I was wrong also and made a video like this, examining it. Because like I said, rising wedges tend to break down, right? So I wouldn't have been surprised if it had come down. And I still didn't think this was the top, so I wouldn't have sold to buy lower right here. I would have just stayed in, and I'm 100% in the market right now. I have no cash on the side in my Coinbase account, so I'm subject to these moves. 100% of my account changes value as the price changes. But I was just fairly confident that this was not the final top, and it looks like we might have that. Though today is Saturday, and so the professional traders are not trading right now, because they do it more like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, like stocks. Maybe it's a little bit different than that because over the last couple of months we've been having some big old moves on the weekends that have not reverted. They didn't, we had a big move and then it didn't go back down over the weekend. Like as soon as the pros came in, the price didn't reverse. So maybe some of that is changing, that the professional traders and the big money are also trading on the weekends. But we're going to have a CME gap that is making me think that this is probably the top. So where I'm at right now, I'm probably going to sell a piece, maybe 25% or 50%, and then consider getting back in at a later date, or at least, or maybe I'll just set stop loss orders so that if it comes down below this, then I get out. I don't really see a good point for me to set that stop loss. Maybe if it goes below this wick right here. So if it goes below 3190, then I'll get out. 31,090, then I will get out or get part of my stack out. But this thing looks like it's gonna keep running a little bit more, because it's already exceeded this measured move, and the way these candles look right now, I mean, this could change. It's a 1 hour candle that just started 4 minutes ago, but this is a potential toppy candle. It has a nice big wick going up to, going upwards, but this is just the 1 hour chart, and on the 2 hour chart, it looks a little bit less like a reversal candle or a candle that would be at the top. At the 4 hour, it looks a little bit less like a candle that would be at the top. So here's an example of a candle that's at the top. This one is a doji, and it was at this top. We had several. What am I looking at? The 4 hours here. So we had about 2 days where from this top things went down. And then you see here's a bottom with a candle that's similar to this one, but it's a hammer. It's a little bit more dramatic. The wick to the bottom is longer. And then from there, that one created an up. And then again, you didn't see any real toppy candles in here. So that's part of why I was thinking it was going to go up. Now, after 28, where I thought it was going to go before when we were down here playing around, I said 28, then maybe a little pullback, and then 32, and maybe a little pullback, and then 35. Well, I think it's just going to blast right through 32 and go up here to 35. Maybe this ends up being the top, but I think we got another $1,000 or so over this weekend, and just because of what all is going on right now, maybe we go to 50,000. By maybe not over the weekend, but by next week, by the middle or the end of next week. And that's it's almost doubling from where we're at right now. Well, it's not almost doubling. I guess it's going up about 50% from where it is now, right? It'll be another, half of 30,000 is 15, right? And if it went up another 15 from here, that would be going up 50%, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this one. I just want to show how this, breakout played out. A follow-up to my last, somewhat drunk video from last night. Following up about this little measured move, about this wedge that went against, again, wedges are, I think it's 60% more likely, or 60% that they're going to go down and 40% that they're going to go up. So this one defied that. I mean, obviously it's not a big discrepancy. It's not a 90 chance it's going to go down. It's only a 60% chance, and it actually went the other way. But was an example that I wanted to capture of a top that did not, or a phase of the market that did not look like a top to me, just given it the eyeball test. I'm, no trading wizard at this point yet, but it didn't look like a top, so I wanted to record it and say, okay, this is what I think is probably going to happen. Part of this is for me, but also, if you're one of my family members, you're probably going to get one of the, you're probably going to get this video sent to you. So that's it for this one. Let me know if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, or just troll my crappy trading in the comments. Please make fun of me on my last video because it was horrible. But that's it for this one. Any questions, just shoot. Talk to you soon. Peace.